Hey guys, I told you I would be back. I said maybe. Have all the time in the world. Alright. It just felt weird to leave for just a few days. Seemed like a week, but to not talk to you again for another weekend, I couldn't let that happen. Especially since we already have this next part transcribed since a few days ago last week. But let's go ahead and get into this. We're actually wrapping up book 4 of Psalms. We just have one more book to go, and then the entire book of Psalms 1 through 5 is completely finished. So before we get into the last segments here, I do have another quote for you guys. And this one is also from Francis Beaumont. The last one we read, I believe, was also him. Let me just go back. Another weird quote, I think, from a play. This is where I'm getting at. Yes, another play. I don't know if it's the same one that we talked about last time. I don't even remember which one that was. But this is also Francis Beaumont quote from a play stating, "We always find something, Didi, or Didi, to give us the impression that we exist." Alright, so it looks like in conversation somebody is talking to their friend or family member, saying there's always something, right, to just remind us of our livelihood, to remind us of our our presence, and existence is really the best word to put it, to remind us of our existence and to remind us that we're living. And honestly, this is how the holidays kind of reintegrate this aspect of life, the fact that we all exist here together in a society. We have family, right, that reminds us, oh yeah, this is my family, this is where I came from, and really gives us a very worldly perspective of like, okay, we're here, we're not off in some other planet, right, we're not full-time living in Jannah or heaven all the time, right, we're here, we're present, we have to exist in society and participate in the world the way that the world wants us to participate, right? I'll just leave it at that. So the holidays can be a really good reminder of this, right? We always, we're human, right? We're human, we're existing, we're living, we have to participate oftentimes in societal expectations and roles, and we have to play our part in one way or another, just reminding us that, yes, we are present here, and yes, sometimes we do have to play by the rules. So without going on too many tangents, there was definitely a lot of other things that I could have said. We're going to leave it at that and let Psalms speak. And we're going to go ahead and start with chapter 98, verse 7. It says here, "Let the sea resound, and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. Moses and Aaron were among his priests. Samuel was among those who called on his name. They called on the Lord, and he answered them. He spoke to them from the pillar of cloud. They kept his statutes and the decrees he gave them. My eyes will be on the faithful in the land, that they may dwell with me. The one whose walk is blameless will minister to me. No one who practices deceit will dwell in my house. No one who speaks falsely will stand in my presence. A prayer of an afflicted person who has grown weak and pours out lament before the Lord." Continuing, "I lie awake. I have become..." So that wasn't an actual psalm. This was the introduction to the psalm, kind of like this is where the psalm came from. If that makes sense. So this is the prayer. "I lie awake. I have become like a bird alone on a roof. He will respond to the prayer of the destitute. He will not despite their plea. They will perish, but you remain. They will wear out like a garment. Like clothing you will change them, and they will be discarded. But you remain the same, and your years will never end." Okay, of David, introduction. "He made known his way to Moses, his deeds to the people of Israel. And from everlasting to everlasting the Lord's love is with those who fear him, and his righteousness with their children's children. He set the earth on its foundations. It can never be moved. You covered it with the watery depths as a garment. I want to say garment. The waters stood above the mountain. But at your rebuke the waters fled. At the sound of your thunder they took to flight. The trees of the Lord are well watered, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted. There the birds make their nests. The stork had come home in the junipers. The stork has its home in the junipers, excuse me. All creatures look to you to give them their food at the proper time. He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. And he sent man before them. Joseph sold as a slave. He sent Moses as his servant, and Aaron, whom he had chosen. They performed his signs among them, his wonders in the land of Ham. He brought out Israel, laden with silver and gold, and from among their tribes no one faltered. When our ancestors were in Egypt, they gave no thought to your miracles. They did not remember your many kindnesses, and they rebelled by sea, the Red Sea. You want to go outside? Go ahead. Go play. Go ahead. It's freezing out, you guys. Imagine that. It's so cold. This cat wants to go outside. He can go outside. And they rebelled by the Red Sea. The camp grew envious of Moses and of Aaron, who was consecrated to the Lord. And Aaron, who was consecrated to the Lord, should be who were. The earth opened up and swallowed Dathan. It buried the company of Abraham. Then they despised the pleasant land. They did not believe his promise. Make their descendants fall among the nations, and scatter them throughout the lands. They sacrifice their sons and their daughters to false gods. Save us, Lord our God, and gather us from the nations, that we may give thanks to your holy name and glory in your praise. Okay, so again, it's kind of like in retrospect, looking back in review, right? Reminding. This is a lot of Psalms too. Really, the whole Bible is a lot of reminders. The Quran, a lot of reminders. Remember when this happened? I need you to remember, right? You must remember when this happened. And you also must not forget when this happened, right? You must not set yourself apart from those who were chosen, right? We are all connected. So look to them as an example, right? Do by them. Follow their example to do as they did, like Moses, Aaron, Joseph, those people, right, who did not waver, even though they wanted to waver, although they were shying away from the task at hand and shying away from the duty that was upon them. They didn't, and they could have, but they didn't. So that's something very important to remember, staying very, very steadfast, very, very steadfast. As we are steadfast, the Lord is steadfast, although he is always steadfast, but he will remain steadfast for us as we remain steadfast. Yeah, good. All right. Well, again, there's lots more I feel like I could say, but the words are flying away from me. I have to go eat some food, but I appreciate you listening, and I thank you for bearing with me. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you early next week. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.